What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Thunderbite29 here, and yep, I am back today with another video, a video that some people were expecting. As I had already made a rant on Battlefield 2042, of course, I can't forget Call of Duty Vanguard because this game is also a huge disaster. This game is also a giant piece of garbage. This game is just a mess. So historically inaccurate, this game is just an insult to World War II. But the real question is, why do I think that? So today, I'm going to be speaking my opinion on why I think Call of Duty Vanguard sucks. And I'm just going to let you know, some of it is my opinion, so you can agree or disagree with me if you want to. So without further ado, let's begin, shall we? So let's jump into number one. And number one, historical inaccuracies in the campaign. So yes, this game does have a campaign, unlike Battlefield 2042 that doesn't, which kind of explains why this game is only doing better by half a point in the reviews. But just because that's the case, that doesn't mean this game is good. This game is based in World War II, and I'm going to show you some screenshots that I had witnessed in the campaign, historical inaccuracies. The first one I noticed is the British Lee Enfield can only hold 5-round stripper clips. Okay, that is ridiculous. Even though, if you know your guns, you will also know the fact that the British Lee Enfield can actually hold 10 rounds, but loaded by 2 5-round stripper clips. But meanwhile, a German Kar 98K can hold 20 rounds. And yes, those clips actually did exist, believe it or not, but they weren't used on a large scale like it shows in the game, which is the first problem. Second of all, the reload action. You don't just take a clip out and put another one in like you do with the M1 carbine or the SVT-40. They are loaded by 5-round stripper clips like the Lee Enfield. And number two, constantly seeing MP40s with extended mags and reflex sights. Okay, that is absurd. That sight actually did exist, according to ForgottenWeapons.com. But first of all, it didn't exist until 1945 at the end of the war. Second of all, you see that MP40 constantly from Normandy to North Africa and to the Battle of Stalingrad. Like, that is one of the most common guns that you see all throughout the campaign. Which also proves my point that this is also historically inaccurate. And a third one I witnessed, in the Pacific Theater, German STG-44s and MG-42s are magically in the Pacific Theater, which is also really, really absurd. Well, the only thing that they did right was the Germans actually did sell weapons to Japan, but not those kind of weapons. They only sold like submachine guns or fully automatic pistols, and it was at least a decade before World War II began. And the MG-42 was made during the war in 1942, and the STG-44 was made near the end of the war. So the MG-42 and the STG-44 being in the Pacific Theater literally makes no sense. You would definitely understand that if you know your gun history and World War II history. And another thing about the STG-44, it also appears in North Africa as well. It's like whoever made this game, it's like they didn't even care. Like, this is just really embarrassing. I mean, this is just basic stuff that they got wrong. And yet, I'm a 20-year-old, and somehow I am more smarter than these game developers when it comes to this topic. Like, that is really embarrassing. Like, this is not rocket science. I do not like to be a historically accurate nerd. But if I'm going to see things like this in a World War II game, they shouldn't be getting by with this. Because the way they did this game is exactly why I think this game is a massive insult to World War II. Because of all the historical inaccuracies that are so easy to notice. Even one of the most poorly made World War II games ever made is at least more historically accurate than this piece of garbage that we are witnessing today. Number two, long ass cutscenes. Like, some cutscenes would last like 7 to 10 minutes, or sometimes it would take you more than 10 minutes just to get into the action and just to freaking play the game. Like, am I playing a video game or am I watching a freaking movie? Like, if I wanted to watch a movie, I would literally turn off my Xbox right now and I would go to YouTube and watch some old war movies. But I'm playing a video game based on World War II. This is more of a movie than a video game. And number 3, forced diversity and woke washing. Like, this has been shown in the campaign a couple of times, but most notably, it's been extremely noticeable in this cutscene when they were talking about the occupation of the Rhine, which I'm going to play to you right now.
Inland accent. You must be from Neustadt. During the occupation, you saw French soldiers who look like me carry guns in your streets, marry your women. That's what I hear when you speak German. Charming. We thrashed you once. Hear those bombs? That's us, thrashing you again.
Okay, if you guys know your history, you would definitely know why I would have a problem with this cutscene. Because first of all, they were talking about marrying the women. But they weren't doing that on a large scale as the game is trying to say. On a large scale that the French colonial troops were actually doing, which was the African troops, they were actually raping them and slaughtering them on a large scale. Like, if you don't want to talk about the real occupation of the Rhine, like what it was like and all the atrocities and all that because it makes you uncomfortable, or it's because it's history, or because it doesn't fit your narrative, then don't frickin' talk about it. Instead of trying to rewrite history because you disagree with it, I think it would be best to shut your mouth. Period. The real reason why we keep talking about World War II, the reason why we keep learning about it, is to prevent another major conflict like World War II from ever happening again, and to prevent history from repeating itself.
I mean, you're making it sound as if when the Nazis came into power, everyone there was multiracial and very progressive, like in California. But this is why I dislike diversity in video games, because when you have a diverse character, they have to treat him with gloves. They have to carry him like he's made out of porcelain. Like, he can't have negative flaws. He can't be human, because human beings have negative flaws. No, they need to be perfect little angels in a world where everyone is trying to hurt them. That is not for good storytelling, by the way.
Exactly! I cannot agree more with this guy. He directly said it all. And out of every World War II game I have played throughout my entire lifetime, I have never seen a video game company try to push diversity so hard into a World War II game. Like, this is so embarrassing. 1930, 1940 politics do not mix together well with 2020 politics. Like, they just want to hide how bad the past was just so people will hate the present. It's like historical revisionism that try to justify the behaviors of modern society, which is exactly why you keep this stuff out of World War II games. Period.
I need only your screams. That will convince your friends to talk.
Why? Because I am a woman.
Bleh. Alright, enough talking about that. Now let's jump right into the multiplayer, which is probably only going to take me like 30 seconds. Because, first of all, the My Team, Enemy Team scoreboard officially is still there, like it was in the beta. And second of all, look at your guns. You can make your guns exactly like this. Like, this does not look like a BAR. This looks like an AK-12. Like, am I playing Modern Warfare or am I playing a World War II game? Like, I'm so confused. But in conclusion, I have never seen a World War II game ever this bad. Even COD World War II was not this bad at all. Even though the multiplayer got boring, at least the customizations were not this insane. I know they did try to force diversity in the COD World War II campaign, but they didn't do it so hard like they did in Call of Duty Vanguard. This game makes me miss World at War even more, and I wish I could just go back to those days and play World at War again, because World at War was the last World War II game that was made so perfectly right without any problems. And no matter how hard they try to make these newer games to correct the mistakes from the previous ones, you will never beat World at War. But anyways, what do you guys think of Call of Duty Vanguard? Let me know in the comments section. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like this video and subscribe if you agree. And thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for the great support. You are the best as we now begin to close in on 3,350 subscribers. And thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. And I will see you all in the next video. And this is WW2 signing off.